Okay, I'll just quickly revise what is programming language and three levels of programming language. What is programming language? The language that is understandable by the computers. Okay, the language which we are going to use to communicate with the computer. Obviously, the language is used to communicate with each other. Okay, our language is not understandable by the humans. That is why the developers have developed so many programming language, so that we can easily talk to computer, and so that easily the computer understand the language and perform the task whatever is required for us. That is where this programming language came into existence. Okay, every language is having certain rules. Every language is having certain syntax. That syntax you need to follow and write the code. Okay, so that the computer will understand. And it is not directly to the computer, you need to install certain softwares. Okay, that softwares will act as an intermediate here. Okay, with the help of softwares, we are going to execute the languages, the programming that we are going to do. Okay, so what is programming language? It is a language which you're going to communicate with the computer, so that our specific task, so that our task will be done. Okay, whatever task you are going to do, that will be done successfully with the help of this programming language. Okay, we have three types of programming language. First one is low level programming language, also called as machine level language. Machine level programming language. Okay, the language which is understandable, executable only by the machines, only machine understandable language, then it is called as low level language or machine level language. And usually this language is written in the form of zeros and ones. Okay, the example for machine level language would be a binary languages. It is not at all understandable by the humans, only by the machines. Okay, before it was being used, because most commonly used was binary, but now this all the languages have been developed by the developers. So nowadays this is not at all used, low level language. Okay, before in the previous era we were using this one, binary languages. Okay, the next one is assembly level language, also called as middle level language. Okay, the language that is understandable by the microprocessor. Okay, even human beings also can understand this, but machines will not be understandable this language. So if you want to make them understand, then we have a component called as assembler. Assembler will translate the assembly language which is written in the form of mnemonics. And what are mnemonics? Predefined words. Okay, with the help of this predefined words, you're going to code it. You're going to write the language. Take that language, translate it into machine understandable language, and that is done with the help of assembler. Okay, it is one of the component which is required for conversion. That assembler he will take and he will make it understand. Whom? Machine. And machine will take it and give you the required output. That is called as assembly level language. Okay. The next is very important, high level language, and that is where we are going to concentrate more on. Okay, the example would be your Java. Java falls under the category called as high level language because the language that is understandable by the humans. Because in Java, we are going to write the code in English. Okay, not going to write in the mnemonics. We're not going to write it in the form of mnemonics or in the form of zeros and ones. The normal English, what we are going to take it, that only we are going to use it, but not the same way. There are certain syntax, there are certain rules. Those we need to follow and try to code it. Okay, high level language is the language that is understandable by the humans, easily understandable by the humans, but not by the machines. Okay, that is called as high level language. Okay, and the example for that would be Java. This is not understandable by the machines. I am saying how it will be converted, that again we'll be seeing it in later on. Okay, this is your programming language. Is it clear? All the three languages is, you can just put the message if yes, yes, no, no. Okay, if you want me to repeat, I'll repeat it, no problem. Okay. So the next this is about the basics. Okay. The next one is, if you want to execute a Java program, you need to have the software installed in your systems. Okay. I'll say what is the requirement, what are the Components that is required for executing your Java program. First, let me explain it theoretically and let me say you how to install that particular software. Okay. Before that, you just take the notes on these three topics, three subtopics: low level, high level, assembly level, and then we'll move on to the components that are present in Java. Okay. Wait a minute, I'll just share the screen. You can either take the screenshot or you can write according to your convenience. Okay. These are just a Java features not required. If you want, I can just take this one. Yes, these are the notes. Yes, as you wish. You can write it or you can take the screenshot. According to your wish, you can do it. See, I feel you people should write with a pen and book. If not now, also late screenshot also you can take. Okay, you can write it also. But I prefer you to take a book and pen and write it. Okay, until and unless you are writing it, you will not read it. You just take a screenshot, keep it in laptop. Done. When you're writing, you will be understanding the each and every line. That is the best way to learn. Handwritten notes are more better than soft copy. My suggestion it is again up to you what you will do. Okay. I'll give you sufficient time. Don't worry. Once you have done, say me. I'll just change the slide. I'm not talking anything. I'm just sharing the screen. You need to take the notes. I'm not talking anything. Done? Slide number 3. Okay. See, guys, if you're lagging, if you're lagging from due to some network issue, you're not taken screenshot if you're not writing. Okay, I'll show it at the end of the class. Okay, the slides which you have missed out, I will display it again at the end of the class. You can take the screenshot. See, it is fine if you're taking screenshot also, but later, whenever you're getting time, write it in notebooks. Okay, I don't tell you to write it in the class only because it takes lots of time. Okay, later also you can write it, but write it. Okay, don't keep only the screenshots for you. It is really a best practice to keep writing the notes. Done? Okay, if you're done, then we'll move on to the next topic. Okay, fine. Okay, guys. Now, if you want to execute, say for example, if you want to execute a Java program on your systems, okay, you just cannot type the programs anywhere and you start getting the output. There are some requirements. Okay, if you want to execute a Java program in your systems. Okay, now say for example, let me consider a person. Okay, he is a developer. Okay, there is a person called as developer. Okay, what this fellow wants to do, he wants to develop a Java application and he wants to run this application on the system. Okay, he is a programmer, he has written some program, he has developed some Java application. Okay, if he wants to develop a Java application, and if you want to execute the Java application on the system, on the laptops, then there are certain basic requirements. Okay, you just cannot execute the Java application in any system. There are certain requirements that you need to meet. Okay, what are those requirements? The first one, okay, if you want to execute the Java program in your system, then you need to have Java compiler. Okay, you need to have Java compiler. Okay, where how this Java compiler will be coming into your system, how he will be coming and he will be executing the Java program. I'll say you how to install this JDK in your systems. Okay, now first requirement is he wants Java compiler. Okay, what is this Java compiler doing? Okay, he will be converting the program code that you're going to write into the byte code. Okay, again I'll be showing you how what is that byte code and how it is being converted. Okay, now let us only discuss what are the requirements. Okay, the first one is Java compiler. Okay, if you're having Java compiler in your systems, then only you can execute the Java programs. Otherwise, no, it is not at all possible. These are the basic requirements required for executing the Java application. Okay, and one more thing, he also wants a requirement. Okay, he wants also want one environment to execute the Java programs, and that is what called as Java runtime environment. Java runtime environment. This environment will be helping us to execute this byte code. Okay, whatever Java compiler is converting a source file into bytecode, this bytecode will be taken and will be executed by JR. I'll show you again in detail. I'll explain you what is bytecode and all. Okay, these are the two basic requirements required for a developer to develop the application and execute onto his system or onto his laptop. What are those? First one is Java compiler. Second one is JRE. Java compiler and JRE. Okay, this is a very important concept, guys. This is a very important concept. Java community. Okay, the Java developers, I can say. The developers who have developed the Java has beautifully designed and given a package for us called as JDK. Okay, package is nothing but a folder, I can say, just a folder. Okay, inside this JDK, we have Java compiler, we have JRE, all are inbuilt inside this. You just install this JDK. The extension is .java. The file name followed by .java. Okay. Now you'll write one program. Say for example, demo.java. You have written the set of instructions there. Okay. First, okay, there are three important steps you need to follow. The first one is you need to write the code. Okay, you will write the code. Second one is you need to compile it. And the third one is you need to execute it. These are the three steps that you need to follow when you're writing, when you're executing a Java program. First, you need to write a code. Obviously, if you're not writing a code, how will it execute, right? So first you need to write a code, save it with the extension .java. Okay, after writing it, you need to compile it first. Okay, you cannot directly execute it because you are going to write the code inside this file in the form of English language. That is high level language. And high level language is not understandable by the machine. So what happens, at that time, this .java file, whatever you're going to write the source code, that will be converted into byte code. That will be converted into intermediate language. This is nothing but byte code is nothing but an intermediate code. Okay, whenever you're executing your .java file, an intermediate code is getting generated. And that intermediate code is nothing but byte code. Okay, and this conversion is being done with the help of compiler. Compiler will convert the source code. I can say that as source code. Okay, whatever the code is being written in Java file, that I can say it as a source code. That will be converted to intermediate code called as byte code. Who is doing that conversion? Compiler is doing. Okay, compiler is doing that conversion. Okay, now this byte code is intermediate code. It is intermediate code. Again, this code is neither understandable by the humans nor understandable by the machines. This byte code, whatever is been getting generated when I am going to compile the file, there are two steps. Okay, in most of the languages there is only one step, but in Java we are going to compile it first and then we are going to execute it. Okay, when you're going to compile it, the source code, whatever you're going to take it and you're going to compile it with the help of compiler. Compiler will compile that file and will be generating a code called as intermediate code. This is byte code. That is what called as byte code. Very important, guys, from your interview perspective. What is byte code? Okay, the entire Java is lying on this only, byte code. What is byte code? An intermediate code that is getting generated when it is executing .java file. Source code, whatever we're going to write the source code, that is again converted into byte code. Okay, this byte code is neither understandable by the humans nor understandable by the human beings. Okay, now what is the purpose of doing this one then? Okay, I need to make it understand by the machines, not by me or by any other person. I need to make this .java, whatever the instructions I am returning inside this file, I need to make it understand to the machines. So what I need to do? Again, I need to convert it into machine understandable language. Okay, and this machine understandable language conversion is done by this person called as JVM. Okay, what is the work of compiler? Compiler will take .java file and convert it into byte code. .java file is nothing but the source code that you're going to write inside this file. Okay, that .java file will be taken, converted into byte code, and this byte code is nothing but an intermediate code that is getting generated. It is not understandable by the humans, not understandable by the machines. So what you need to do? Again, you need to convert it into machine understandable language. Okay, if you want to make it to understandable by the machine, then you need to take the help of a person called as JVM. Okay, now we have one more person. We have one more person, one more component called as interpreter. Okay, interpreter and compiler. These are the two important components. Okay, now if you're writing the code here, say for example, you've written the code here. This is your .java. Okay, say for example a.java. You have written the code here. Okay, now you need to compile it first. How to compile, again we will see it later. I'll show you. Okay, who is doing this work? Compiler. Okay, there is a component called as compiler. He will take that .java file, whatever the code you have written. Normally, the code that you write has been present inside this file. Okay, you need to compile it first. So once it is being compiled, what is happening? Bytecode is getting generated. Bytecode is getting generated. Okay, and this bytecode is neither understandable by the humans nor understandable by the machines. So you need to convert it into machine understandable language. Machine understandable language. And who is doing that conversion? A person called as interpreter. And where is this interpreter present? He is present within JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Okay, in Java Virtual Machine, there is a component called as interpreter. Okay, with the help of interpreter, we are going to convert the bytecode into machine understandable language, and it is necessary to do because this is not understandable by the machine. If the machine understands, then only he will execute and he will give you the output, required output. Okay, that is why we say that this is required. Interpreter and compiler is required. And compiler is present within JDK. Interpreter is present inside a component called as JVM. Okay, JRE, JVM. Okay, inside JDK we have JRE, and I'll just make this diagram. Inside JDK we have compiler and JRE. Okay, inside JRE we have JVM and we have list of classes. Okay, and inside JVM we have a person called as interpreter. Okay, who is responsible for converting a bytecode into machine understandable language? JVM will convert. JVM will convert the bytecode. Whatever the intermediate code is getting generated, that intermediate code will be converted to machine understandable language by JVM, but with the help of interpreter. With the help of interpreter. Interpreter will take that bytecode, convert into machine understandable language. Okay, this is how your Java program will execute. Okay, the base it is. Okay, this is how your Java program executes. Okay, now let me show you. See, when I'm saying a.java, when I'm going to compile it, okay, one more file gets generated. One more file gets generated, that will be a.class. Okay, and inside that class file you will be having this bytecode. Okay, I'll show you when I'm executing this all things. I'll show you what is a.java, what is this a.class, how is this bytecode looking like. Okay, let me explain it theoretically first and then show you practically, because you need to install JDKs in your systems. Then only you can see all these things in your systems. Okay, now what all we studied? JDK. What is JDK? Java Development Kit. Okay, Java Development Kit. Java developers, okay, Java developers have given us beautiful package called as JDK, which involves two components. One is JRE and one more is Java compiler. Okay, I'm repeating. Okay, JDK installs JRE and Java compiler. Java runtime environment and Java compiler. The basic two requirements that are required for execution of Java program. What are those? JRE and Java compiler. Okay, when you're going to install this JDK, that automatically comes into your systems. You need not to separately install those. Okay, all together they are putting in one package called as JDK package. Okay, fine. What is JRE then? What is Java compiler then? Okay, they both are components of Java, that is JDK, Java Development Kit. Okay, JRE is required for execution. JRE is required for execution of a system. Why? Because in JRE we have JVM. Okay, we have JVM, and in JVM we have a person called as interpreter. Okay, with the help of interpreter, The component which is present within JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine. Okay, Java runtime environment is used for execution of a program. Java compiler is used to compile the file. Okay, again in GRE we have JVM and we have library files. Okay, GRE is also a package. GRE is also one of the folder. Within JRE, we have two other components called as JVM and library. And what is JVM? Java Virtual Machine. Okay, these are the three important components: JDK, JRE, JVM. Okay, now JVM is having one component called as interpreter. JDK is having one component called as compiler. These are the two important components required for compilation as well as execution of a Java program. Okay. Now, what is the work of compiler? What he is doing? Okay, whatever the code I'm going to write it. Okay, because .java, the extension of the file that you're going to write. Okay, Java program if you're writing, the extension of your Java program is .java. Okay, all the files if you're writing, it should be saved with .java extension only. Then only it will be considered as Java file. Otherwise, no, it will not be considered. Okay, now I'm writing the code here. Now I'm writing the code here and I'm saving with the name a.java. Now I need to execute it. Okay, but here what I'm doing, I'm writing it into the high level language. High level language. That cannot be understandable by the machines. That is not understandable by the machines. So what I need to do, I need to convert it into machine understandable language first. Okay, the conversion should happen. Then only the machine will understand whatever the things you have written inside this a.java. Okay, certain instructions you have written. Certain instructions you have written. Say, for example, adding two numbers, you have written the work assigned to the computer. That work should be understandable by the machines, right? So, what you need to do? You need to convert that a.java file into machine understandable language. Okay, it is not directly getting converted here. The developers have developed the application, the Java, in such a way that they are taking two steps. One is compilation and one more is execution. In Java, we are going to have two steps. One is called as compilation, one more is called as execution. Compilation first happens, after that execution happens. Okay, now what is this compiler doing? That a.java is given as an input to this compiler. A.java is a file where you're going to write the code that is given as the input to this compiler. And what is this compiler doing? He will take that a.java file, whatever you have written in the English level language, he will take it, he will convert it into bytecode. What is this bytecode? It is the intermediate code that is getting generated after compilation of .java file. Okay, it is a intermediate code that is getting generated. For every Java file, this is the process, guys. Please do understand what is happening internally. Okay, for every .java file, for every program you write and execute, this is a process that will be happening every time. Okay, now what is the compiler doing? He is taking the .java file and he is converting into intermediate code. That is what called as bytecode. Now, this bytecode is not understandable by humans. I can also not understand. You can also not understand. Not even machines. It is not understandable by anyone. But my intention is what? I need to make it understandable by the machines, and only the machines will execute that code and give us the required output. Okay. Now, this bytecode, a.java is converted to bytecode. Where will be that bytecode getting stored? Inside a file called as a.class. A.java will be converted into a.class. One more file gets generated. After compiling, one more file gets generated automatically. Who will generate that? Compiler. Okay, and the name given to that will be .class extension. I'll show you what is that class, how you will be writing a class, how is this file getting generated. Okay, one more file gets generated with the extension called as .class. This is .java. This is .class. Inside this .class, you will be having that bytecode. Okay, Now this bytecode should be executed because I want the required output. I am adding two numbers. I want the sum of those two numbers. Okay. After compilation, I'm not getting the output. I'm getting a file called as bytecode. Now I need to take that bytecode and I need to get the sum of two numbers. Before that, what should I know? I need to do. I need to make understand this bytecode to machine. I need to take this bytecode and understand it to machine. How will I make it understand? By converting it into machine understandable language. And how will I do that? With the help of interpreter. Okay, there is a component called as interpreter which is present in JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Okay, Java Virtual Machine is responsible for converting bytecode into machine understandable language with the help of person. He is a helper here for JVM, interpreter. He is helping the conversion of bytecode into machine understandable language. Then only you'll be getting the sum of two numbers. This entire process should happen. Then only you'll be getting the final output here. Okay, with the help of interpreter, I'll convert that bytecode into machine understandable language. At that time, machine understand, yes, there is a program written to add two numbers. So let me add those two numbers and give you the output. So he will be giving you the sum of two numbers here. Okay, entire process should happen. What are the three steps? Compose the instructions. In Java, we have three steps. First one is compose the instruction, means write the code. After writing the code, you will be having compilation. Okay, that file should and must be compiled. Then only you will be getting the executable file. Okay, once it is compiled, after that you need to go for execution. Once you are done execution, then only you'll be getting the required output. These are the three steps. These are the three steps that is required for every Java program. What are those? Compilation, composition of instructions, compilation, and execution. Okay, these are the three steps that are required. I'll just show you what is that bytecode. Okay, one file I'll just open and I'll just show. Okay, see, this is a1.java. Okay, here I've written some source code. Okay, some code I've written here. This is my Java program, what I've written here. Okay, now a1.java, when I'm compiling it, how to compile, I'll show you. Don't worry. There are certain commands. By using that commands, I'll show you how to compile it. If you're compiling it, what is happening? Once it is compiled, compiler is a component that is present within JDK. Okay. Now, if you're going to compile it, after compiling the same a1.java, one more file will be getting created called as class file. What will be present inside that class file? Bytecode will be present. So when I'm opening that one, see, this is your bytecode. Do you understand this language? Do you understand this language? The same whatever I've written in a1.java. See, here the code is like this. Int a is equal to 40 public void m1 system.out.println from parent. Okay, some code I've written here. But when I'm compiling it using some commands, what is getting generated? Dot class file. Okay, for every .java file in Java, you are going to get a dot class file. For every single program you write, you will be getting one more file getting generated. And what is that file called as? Dot class file, because it is saved with the extension dot class, and this file will be automatically getting created. You need not to create this one. It gets created automatically. It gets created automatically, and this language is not understandable by us also, not by the machines also. So after compiling, this file gets generated. You need to take this file, this dot class file, and you need to execute it. Okay, you just cannot take this a1.java and execute the file. No, first it should be compiled. It should be converted to bytecode. Then only you can take this file and you can execute it. Okay, you cannot directly take a1.java and execute it. Why? Because it is not understandable by the machine. You need to make him understand by converting it into bytecode. Then bytecode will be again converted into machine understandable language with the help of interpreter. Okay. See, in Java we have two steps: compilation and interpretation. But in some of the languages like C, okay, there is only compilation. Compiler itself, he will convert it into machine understandable language. There is no process of interpretation. But in Java, we have given two steps. Okay, developers have developed it like this. They have taken two steps. One is compilation and one more is interpretation. Okay, with the help of compiler, we are going to compile it. With the help of interpreter, we are going to convert that dot class file, that bytecode into machine understandable language. Okay, which file is required for compilation? a1.java. Okay, when you're going to compile, a1 dot class gets generated. One, what is present in a1 dot class? Bytecode is present. Okay, and this a1 dot class will be taken for the interpreter. He will convert it into machine understandable language and will be giving you the required output. Okay, how you will be compiling, how you will be executing, there are certain commands, okay, that will be using it and will be executing our programs. Okay, that will be seeing it again later. Okay, after this I'll see you. Okay, fine, this is about your working procedure. Okay, what is JDK, JRE, JVM, compiler, interpreter? Important components. Okay, please do understand the components, because from interview perspective this is also important question. Okay, what is the work of compiler, what is the work of interpreter? Okay, these two questions are very important. Now, what is the work of compiler? Dot Java file. Okay, whatever you're going to write it, this is nothing but your source code, I can say. The source code is converted into bytecode. Who is converting it? Compiler. So, what is the work of compiler? Converting dot Java file into dot class file, which is containing bytecode. That is the work of compiler. And what is the work of interpreter? Take this dot class file, take this bytecode, what is written inside this dot class, and make it understand to machine. Converting the bytecode into machine understandable language is the work of interpreter. Okay, these are the steps that are being required for every Java program. Okay, see, so many programs are there here. For every program, there is a class file getting generated. See, for every class, so Java file, there is a class file getting generated. It is there. See, for every program, you can see Java class, Java class, Java class, Java class. Okay, because it is a mandatory thing that happens. Because the developers have given the two steps here. One is compilation and one more is execution. Okay, fine. Now, if you want to do all this process, if you want to do all this process, like if you want to create a .java file, you want to create a .class file, what should be there in your systems? Okay, now let me give you an example. Okay, assume there is a person called as Smith. Okay, he is a developer. He is a developer. What basic requirements he want to have in your systems? JRE and Java compiler. These are the two basic requirements to be present in your systems to execute Java application. Yes, these are the two basic requirements that are there required for you to execute the Java program in your systems. So what you need to do? You need to install JDK in your systems. Okay, you need to install JDK in your systems. That's all. Okay, then there are so many versions getting released, JDK versions released. Okay, now the latest version, can you say me which is the latest version of JDK? So many versions. We started from JDK 1, 1.1, and now we have reached till anyone? Any idea which is the latest version of JDK?
Java 18.
Yes, okay, it is 18. The latest version is JDK 18. Okay, any one of the JDK versions you can download. I'll say you how to download and how to install it. Okay, it is highly recommended. Okay, the previous JDK from JDK 8 till JDK 18, you can download any one of the versions. Before JDK 8, don't download. Means it is highly recommended according to the industry standards. They always prefer JDK 8 to JDK 18. In between this, anyone you can download. Okay, because there are not many changes. Okay, before JDK 8, it is not recommended to use. Any one of the versions you can download. Okay, and this JDK files are been available in Oracle website. Okay, why it is available in Oracle website? Because the owner of Java is now Oracle company. Before it was Sun Microsystems, but now it is Oracle. So whatever you want to download, whatever you want the information about Java, always prefer to use the website given by Oracle. Okay, now if you want to download JDK files, also prefer Oracle website. Okay, there are so many JDK files that are given. The latest version you can download, or it can also download between JDK 8 to JDK 18. Okay, we always prefer to use the latest version rather than using the older version, right? Because new features are getting added. Every time the new features are getting added, and every time there is a new release. Okay, from JDK 1.1, we have reached till JDK 18. See, so many releases are there. So many releases are taken up. Anyone you can download. I'll show you how to download it. Okay, what you need to have in a system for execution of Java program? JDK. Okay, what is JDK? Java Development Kit. What it comprises of? It comprises of JRE and Java compiler. Okay, some important components which are required for execution of Java program. Okay, this you should have basic idea what is happening internally when you're writing a Java program. What is happening internally and what are the use of the components that are present in JDK. You should be knowing this one before you start writing the program in Java, right? Okay, before you have food, what are the ingredients that are used in your food? That also should be known, right? You just cannot directly eat it. Okay, you can directly eat it, no problem. If something happen, food poisoning and all, you will be the responsible person. Yes, so better to know and have the food. What are the ingredients that are used? Okay, know them and have the food. That will be the better. If you're having also no problem, but something happens in future, then you will be the responsible person. Okay, so I want you all to understand what are the components that are present inside JDK and the work of every component before you start writing the programs. Okay, what is JRE, what is Java compiler, what is interpreter, and what is JVM. Okay, what are those? JDK, JRE, JVM, interpreter, compiler. 5 components. Okay, very important. Okay, fine. This is about your internal working. Did you all understood? I understand this is your first class, but still, don't worry. I'll be giving you the notes. You can go through the notes again. Okay, I'll just display the notes for this one. What is compiler? What is interpreter? Okay, and then I'll show you how to install JDK. Okay, you can install your JDKs and come back to the class so that we'll start executing your Java programs. Okay, I'll just share the notes. So most probably we'll be starting coding from tomorrow itself. Okay, we'll see if happens tomorrow. Tomorrow means you need to install JDKs in your systems. Don't at all worry, guys. When you start using it, when you start executing, when you start compiling, exactly you'll come to know what is exactly happening internally when you're trying to execute a Java program. Okay, don't at all be panic. Once you're done saying, guys, I'll just change the slide. Okay, the diagram shows you what is exactly happening. Okay, you'll be writing the code here, .java file. Okay, whatever the program, the instructions, you'll be writing inside that file. Okay, that file will be taken by the compiler. Okay, compilation is happening here. Who is doing that? Compilation, compiler. Okay, .java file is your Java source code. Okay, the code that you're going to write inside .java file is called as source code. That is being converted into .class file. I showed you for every .java file in Java, .class file is getting generated. And what will be present inside that .class file? Bytecode. You are not going to generate it. Automatically, it is getting generated when you try to compile it. Okay. .java file, you are going to write it. Okay. But this .class file will be automatically getting generated when you're going to compile it using compiler. Okay, compiler will convert .java file into .class file, and what is present inside this .class file? Bytecode. Okay, what is bytecode? Intermediate code that is getting generated when you're trying to compile .java file. And what is that intermediate code? It is neither understandable by the humans nor understandable by the machines. So what you need to do it again, you need to convert it into machine understandable language. Okay, if you want to convert the bytecode into machine understandable language, then it can be done with the help of interpreter. We have one more component. Okay, we have one more component called as interpreter. It is present in JVM. Okay, with the help of interpreter, JVM will convert the bytecode into machine understandable language, and then we will be getting the required output. Okay, this part is called as compilation. This part is called as interpretation or execution. Okay, every Java program should undergo these two processes, compilation as well as execution. You cannot directly come to interpretation, cannot directly come to execution and execute Java file. Okay, first it should be and must be compiled and getting .class file generated. .class file will be taken and then you'll be getting the output. Okay, this is a very important process. This is an important step to be done mandatorily. Okay, this is what this bytecode is very important in Java. Everything relies on this bytecode. Okay, this diagram clearly depicts what is happening internally.
To slide 11, please. It's not completed yet.
Okay.
Done, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you just show the slide which you have written that component names JDK, JRE explanation part, ma'am? What you have written?
This also you want?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It's not neat. Let me draw once again. Wait. Okay. Let you just write the notes. I'll draw it once again. Okay. You can
Okay,
just
ma'am.
take it. Is it done? Okay. Some differences I just put up for compiler and interpreter. Just go through the differences, guys. Okay. Compiler and interpreter. Some differences I've just put them. Okay, if you're done, I'll just quickly revise it. I'll just draw a simple diagram. You can just take it. Done? Done, guys?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, we have discussed the three parts. Okay, one is JDK, Java Development Kit. Okay, in JDK, what we have? We have two components. One is JRE and one more is Java Compiler. Java Compiler. Okay, Java Compiler, what he is doing? He is taking the source code and what he is doing? He is generating bytecode. Okay, and what is this bytecode? It is dot class file. Okay, now in JRE we have again two components. One is JVM and one more is list of classes or list of libraries. Okay, list of classes or list of libraries. In JVM we have interpreter. We have interpreter. Okay, and what is this interpreter doing? He is taking this dot class file. Okay, he is taking this dot class file. Here I'll just write the arrow mark like this, and he will be getting the output. Okay, he will convert this dot class file into machine understandable language. Machine understandable language, and we will be getting the required output. This is about your component, important component called as JDK, Java Development Kit. Okay, now I'll say you how to install this Java Development Kit in your systems. Okay, Java Development Kit comprises of two components. One is JRE and one more is Java Compiler. Okay, these two important components. When you're getting installed JDK, obviously these two important components will come into existence. Okay, and obviously whatever things are present inside this and this will be present only. Okay, these are the two important components. This is required for bytecode generation and this is required for execution because interpreter is present within JVM. So he is responsible for executing and this compiler is responsible for compilation and generating bytecode. Okay, fine. Now I'll show you how to install this JDK. Okay, try installing JDK today. If you have any errors, then we'll solve it tomorrow. Okay, I'll just show you how to install JDK. Okay, there are certain steps. Okay, go to Google. Okay, type JDK download. Okay, always prefer the website which is given by Oracle. Okay, this is your Oracle website, the first link. Okay, click on that. You'll be getting the Oracle website here. Okay, now based on your operating system, if you're having Linux operating system, then you can download any one of the file from here. If you're having Mac OS, then you can download any one of the file here. If you're having Windows operating system, then you can install any one of this. Okay, based on the operating system that your laptops or systems are having. Okay, I hope most of them are having Windows operating system. Okay, if it is Mac OS or if it is Linux, then follow the steps. Okay, if anyone click on that, based on your operating systems, you need to download that particular file. Okay, if it is Windows operating system, I want you to install if download installer instead of going for compressed or MSI installer. Anyone you can install. Okay, it is compressed archive because you need to again extract it. Okay, if you want to do that, yes, you can download any one of them. Okay, but I prefer you to install x64 installer. Click on that. Click on that particular link. Okay, one file gets downloaded. Okay, I've already installed, I've already downloaded, so I'll not again download it. Okay, see the steps how to do. Go to Java JDK download. You'll be having Oracle website. Once you click on that Oracle website, you'll be getting this link opened. Okay, based on your operating systems, you'll be installing JDKs. Okay, click on this link, your JDK gets downloaded. Your JDK gets downloaded. Once you'll be getting one folder. Okay, click on that. Okay, nothing is there installation. Double click on that, folder gets open. Next, 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 done. Your installation is done. Okay, that's all. You just download it. Okay, then open that open that folder. Okay, go on telling next, next, and that gets installed. Okay, once it is installed in your C drive. Okay, when you once it is installed in your C drive, go to program files. Go to program files. There will be folder Java. Okay, if it is installed successfully, then you'll be getting a folder called as Java inside your C drive. Okay, now after installation, there is certain step you need to follow. Okay, what is that step? You can note down the steps if you want. Okay, you need to set the path. Okay, first what you will do, you will go to system properties. Okay, right click, go to properties. Okay, as it is Windows 10. Okay, we have a properties called as advanced system settings. Okay, go to that. Okay, then we have something called as environment variables. Okay, properties, right click on this PC, whatever the computer you'll be having, right click on that, go to properties. Okay, after going to properties, you'll be having advanced system settings. Go to that, then variables, environment variables, click on that. Okay, go to environment variables, click on that. Okay, in your user variables, okay, click on new, click on new. Okay, then you'll be having variable name and a variable value. Okay, before that you just click on path. Sorry, click on path. Your path should be selected. Okay, user variables, path should be selected and click on new. Okay, or you can just say edit also. Okay, you can say edit also. or you can say new, anyone. Okay, but prefer going for edit. Once it has been done, click on new. Okay, then you'll be pasting the path here. What is that path? What is that path? Okay, I'll just show you what is that path. You need to paste it here. Okay, go to C. You will be having a folder called as Java. After installing, okay, after installing, you will be getting this folder. Otherwise, you will not get. Before only, you cannot set the path. You need to set this path. It is mandatory. Okay, so open that Java folder. You will be having JDK. Open that. Okay, then you will be having bin. Okay, open that bin. Till here, you need to copy the path. Program files, Java, JDK, bin. Okay, copy this path. Copy this path, and where you'll be going, you just go to this PC, right click, properties, then advanced system settings. Okay, you have something called as environment variables. Okay, select the path, say edit. Okay, then take new, then paste the path here. Okay, and then say okay. Done. That's all. Okay, then your path will be set. Try it out today. If you're still getting some errors, then I'll just solve those errors. Okay, you can just try it out here. You select the user variables. Okay, you need to select the path here and then edit it. Okay, fine. This is how you're going to set the path, how to install JDK. Okay, try out. If you're not getting, again, once again, I explain. Okay, did you all understood how you will be setting the path? It is mandatory, guys. Okay, it is mandatory that you will be setting the path for execution of Java program. Okay, if you're installed Java successfully, you can also check it like this. Okay, command prompt, CMD. Everybody will be having this one. Okay, that is what I'm saying. If it is installed properly, if you want to check it, okay, if you want to check whether it is properly installed, go to search button, write CMD, command prompt. It is called as command prompt. Okay, click on that and open it. Okay, just type Java C. Java C. Okay, you'll be getting list of files. If you're getting this all the things, then it is said that it is properly installed. Okay, so many things are there here. If you're getting all these options, then it is properly installed. Okay, and also after installation, if you're getting it in C drive, uh, in C drive, in program files, automatically a folder gets created Java. Okay, if you're getting that folder also, then it is properly installed. Okay, in Java, you'll be having JDK folder. In JDK, you'll be having all these files. Then you can say that your Java JDK is installed properly. Okay. Before, we were getting two partitions, JDK and GRE. But here now, these days, Oracle is breaking only one package he is giving us. Inside JDK only, all the JRE and JVMs are inbuilt. Okay, before it was separation, but now it is not separated. It is only a single package called as JDK. Okay, so when you're going to C drive JDK, you'll be having all the list like this. So I can say that your JDK is installed properly. Okay, please try out today. Okay, no worries. If it is not installed, also no worries. I'll tell you once again. Okay, please do it, but try it. Okay, try it. Easy installation, nothing. Okay, go for JDK link, download it, double click, next, done. It got installed. Okay, and you need to set the path. That is also important. You need to set the path. Where you will be going? You will be going to C drive, program files, Java, JDK, bin. Till bin, you will be copying that path and you will be pasting it in user variables. Okay, fine. Any doubts? Anything you want to ask me regarding the installation? Yes, I've stopped sharing the screen. Okay. Did you all understood the concepts today? Is it okay? Java, compiler, interpreter, JDK, GRE, JVM. Okay. So most probably tomorrow I'll see. I don't know whether the concepts, if it is allowing me, then we'll be starting the programming. Simple programs will do. If not, again some theoretical concepts. and then we'll be starting with Java. Okay, and guys, one more thing. For the few days, like till I complete part one, I'll be using command prompt only. To execute my programs, I'll be using command prompt. And any of the editors, Notepad plus plus or Edit plus, Notepad, any of the editors you can use, write the program there and execute it in command prompt. Okay, once we are used to the syntax, once we get the syntax of Java, then we'll be switching to Eclipse. Okay, Eclipse will be switching it later. First, let us understand the language properly. Okay, that is the main intention. That is why I'm going to start command prompt. If it is already installed, don't install once again. If you already installed JDK in your systems, don't install once again. Okay, the same you can continue. If you're not having JDK in your systems, then do install JDK. Okay, and take a initiative and try installing JDK, and so that we'll be practicing programs. Okay, without practicing programs, you will not be able to understand Java programming language. Okay, you have to try the programs. Okay, fine. So today we'll wind up, guys. Okay, 10 minutes left. We'll wind up. If you have any questions, you can talk to me and you can leave, or you can leave for the day. Okay, and please do install JDK in your systems and come back in the tomorrow's class. If you have any questions, like if you're getting any errors during installation, I'll help it out. Okay, but give a try.
I wanted to share my screen. Just wanted to know whether JDK is installed or not. Could you please allow me to share my
You can
screen?
share the screen here. There is an option called as share screen here.
No.
No, that is what. Here you cannot share the screen in QSpiders portal.
Okay, okay. If command prompt is coming, it means that JDK is installed properly, right?
No, no, no. In command prompt, if I am writing Java C, okay, you are using
Mm-hmm.
the system right now. Your
Yes,
system is
ma'am.
open.
Yes.
Okay, open
Yes,
your
yes.
command prompt. Open your command prompt.
Yes, opened.
Okay, write the Java C, and
Ja-
Java C.
One second. Java. It's not accepting. I think Microsoft Windows version listing is coming, then
Your which
Microsoft
Windows it is?
Cooperation. All
Windows.
right. Sorry.
Which Windows you are using? Like
Uh, this
version?
is this is version 10.0.
Okay, okay. So you're not getting Java C.
Uh-huh. No,
You type it Java C. What you're getting error?
I'm trying. I'll try, ma'am. I'll try and then let
Okay.
you know
Yes.
tomorrow.
If you're not getting this, all the things, whatever you can see my screen, right?
See.
Okay. If you're not getting this thing, then you need to uninstall your JDK and install it once again. Okay.
Fine, fine. Okay.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am. I'm having one doubt.
Yes, Yogesh.
Ma'am, actually, I have downloaded the JDK software 18
Okay.
from
Okay.
the link, but
Huh.
I'm using Windows 11, and after installing, I got the install folder on the program files, not in the
Huh.
C drive. So, do I need to reinstall the
No,
JDK
in
first?
command prompt, you just check Java C. You just type it and see. In open your
Actually,
command prompt
okay, ma'am.
and type Java C. JAVAC. Am I? Do you are getting what I am getting? I'll just share my screen. See, I'm getting these things. You're getting this all things there. So same.
Uh, just checking, ma'am.
Check it. And you need to set the path also. Okay, whatever I have told the steps, you need to do that steps.
Actually, ma'am, I
Hmm.
haven't set the path because I need to repeat again for the path, ma'am. If,
You did not set the path still.
yes, ma'am.
You need to
I
set
have,
the path.
ma'am.
Huh.
I want to repeat that part for the
Yes, yes.
setting,
Okay. Okay, I'll
please.
just repeat it. Okay. Just give 2 minutes. I'll just share the screen.
Yes, ma'am.
If you're setting the path, then that Java C, when you're typing it in the command prompt, you'll be getting all those things. Okay, just 2 minutes you give me. Yes, guys, if you don't have any questions, you can leave for the day. Okay, I'll just explain those steps. If you want the steps to be repeated, then you can just wait. My screen is visible?
Ma'am.
No, ma'am.
It's not visible. Okay, fine.
No,
It's
ma'am.
visible?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay, wait.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. See, now you'll be going to this PC, whatever you'll be having that. Okay, then go to properties. Okay, after going to properties, you will be going to advanced system settings. Okay, some spaces might vary. Okay, then we have something called as environment variables. Click on that environment variables. Okay, you can either set it in user variables or in system variables. Okay, wherever you want, you can set it, no problem. Okay, but that part should be set. Okay, you can either set it in user variables or you can set it in system variables. Okay, see, I have set it in uh, system variables. Okay, anywhere you can set it. Okay, you have to select that particular variable. Now path. Okay, select that path variable here and click it new or edit, or you can select a here path. Okay, I am selecting the path here and I am saying edit. Okay, now I need to paste that path here. Click on new, one tab gets opened. Okay, then go to that C drive. Go to that C drive. Where is that C drive? Okay, here it is. Okay, in your program files, you will be having a folder called Java. Okay, inside that Java, you will be having JDK. Inside that JDK, you will be having bin. Okay, till bin, you need to copy that path. Okay, Control C. Then you need to paste it here. Control V. Okay, paste it and then say OK. Okay, you need to edit that environment variable so that Java will be visible everywhere, because I'm going to write it in Notepad++. If you're using Eclipse, it is not necessary that you'll be pasting the path, but I want you all to set the path, because we are going to use initial days for few days command prompt. Okay, so you need to do this path setting like this.